Kevin. I wanted to leave you some feedback on essay one. I think that there's some really good description in this essay. I remember you reading this opening scene in class when you wrote it, and I can't remember if you wrote it in class or it was a previous assignment that you were working on. But I remember this being related to descriptive details, and I still really like this. This is a really strong way to begin an essay. I think it brings us in, and I like where you end the paragraph as well. So there's some really strong description. You know, paint the scene really well with you and your battle buddy, and then you're building tension well with this idea of you going to see home, and then this scene where you're kind of imagining what life would be like once you get back home. This is another really good scene where you're building tension. It's this final area where things get a little muddy for me. I get that you're traveling and I get that you're traveling home, but as your reader, I feel a little lost. And you know, I think what probably happened is you started rushing the assignment because you're only 3 pages in here, and you know the assignment asks for a fully realized 6. So I think you know, slowing down your pace in this section and expanding out the details will be really, really helpful, because you present this really interesting idea where you're kind of you're like, I'm ready to go home. I haven't seen it in 4 years. And then you're imagining what it'll be like. And then you say, looking back on it now, I can't imagine just how naive I was. But I don't feel like as your reader, I ever get the answer of why you're calling yourself naive. I figured I'd understand that by the end of the story, but I don't quite understand that. And that's something that as your reader, I really want to know, right? And you're leaving us with this really interesting image, but like I said, I'm still not quite sure what is supposed to happen in the essay, other than I get the idea that you've been stationed overseas, you've been away from family for a long time, you are absolutely beyond ready to go home, and you're traveling home. But again, it's this section where things get a little muddy for me. So I think this is the area that you want to expand on. And as you can see, Microsoft is flagging quite a bit of editing concerns that you need to go ahead and take care of, right? You have a misspelled word here. You need to capitalize this. You need a comma here. A possessive, needs to be possessive because this suggests that you have more than one wife, but you don't, right? It's that you grabbed your wife's hand, so you need the apostrophe there. So this also needs another round of editing. I really want to encourage you to take the time to go back and revise this, because like I said, there's some really strong descriptive writing here, and there's some really good tension building in here. So I think that you really have some natural talent with writing, but I'd like to see this become a fully realized essay. So I think a good way of going about that is maybe mapping out your scenes, right? Mapping those out. Really, what is my arc? What is going to be the turning point? And what are all the scenes that I need to paint in order to get the reader there? And in addition, you really need to go back and give this a thorough round of editing. Microsoft did not catch all of your errors. So you've got some homophone errors that I remember talking to you about in a previous writing assignment. I'm trying to find it. Yeah, here's an example. What you mean here is not are, the verb, you mean our, the pronoun. And I caught that in a couple other places as well. So I think slowing down your pacing and giving this a read for editing will help as well. So let me know if you have any questions about this. As I said, I think that this has enough potential that you could indeed get there with this assignment, but it needs another round of revision. All right, thanks.